We're about to dive into a story that, according to the man who lived it, is so powerful it literally belongs on the big screen. This is the story of a community that simply refused to be victims. This is the story of the Springtownians.
I mean, right off the bat, think about that statement. The person telling this story, Hanshi Deena Naidu, is basically saying this isn't just some old memory. This is an epic tale of heroism that should be a movie. The stakes are already sky high.
And here's what's so important. This isn't some academic third-hand account. This is a personal story from a karate master, someone who was there, someone who knew these heroes personally. That's what gives it so much weight.
So, to really understand why these men were heroes, you first have to understand the world they were living in. And let me tell you, it was a world of constant, daily peril.
For anyone who might not be familiar, apartheid was this brutal, state-sponsored system of racial segregation in South Africa. And it wasn't just a background detail. It was this oppressive, suffocating force that dictated every part of life for the Indian community in Springtown.
So just imagine this. You're caught in a vice. On one side, you have the entire system, the apartheid government, working against you. And on the other side, you have this immediate, physical terror from local gangs attacking people every single day. It was a pressure cooker, trapping the community between two very different but equally dangerous threats.
But you know, when you put people under that much pressure, eventually something has to give. In the face of all that darkness, a change was coming.
And this brings up a really scary question, one that's worth thinking about. When the system that's supposed to protect you is actually oppressing you, and criminals are just running wild, who do you call? Who is going to protect your family?
Well, the answer didn't come from the government. It didn't come from the police. The answer, like it so often does, came from inside the community itself. A group of men looked around and said, enough. If no one else is going to protect our people, we will.
And they earned a name that would echo through their community with respect, with gratitude. They were the Springtownians. And the guys leading this charge weren't some faceless vigilantes. No, they were people from the neighborhood. Men like Manni the Marvelous, someone the narrator knew for decades, and his brother Mickey. That's what's so incredible to me. This was literally neighbors standing up to protect neighbors.
Okay, so we know who they were, but what did they actually do? How does a small group of guys even begin to make a stand against that much violence and chaos?
Their strategy was, well, incredibly direct. They didn't mess around, they didn't write letters or form committees. They went out, they found the guys who were terrorizing people, and they confronted them head on. They basically decided to fight fear with a greater fear, making it crystal clear that their community was off limits.
And the results? It was like night and day. The community went from a state of being traumatized every single day to one where people actually felt safe. They completely flipped the script. Now the gangs were the ones who had to be afraid.
But what they did wasn't just a quick fix. It went so much deeper than that. They forged a real, lasting impact, a legacy of courage that, really does deserve to be remembered.
And our narrator, Hanshi Deena Naidu, really says it all right here. The key word is selfless. They weren't doing this for money or for power. They were putting their own lives on the line for their friends, for their families, for their community. So, when you boil it all down, their legacy is really about three things. First, the incredible power of regular people who rise up to become selfless protectors. Second, the simple but profound gift of a safe community. And third, the fact that a story like this, it just deserves to be honored. And so we end where the original account does, with a simple, heartfelt message of gratitude to the men who stood up when nobody else would.
You know, this whole incredible story was almost lost, just passed down by word of mouth. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How many other stories of courage are out there, just waiting to be told? Who are the forgotten heroes in your community whose stories deserve to be remembered?